Hey, y'all, we live. Let me make sure everything right. Y'all see that Trump just made it hard for the immigrants right now. I want to know what y'all think about this though, for real. But we're going live on this Trump situation, man. And we're gonna see like what are the big changes that's going on. Salute, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. All the new subscribers from the new videos, man. I appreciate y'all. But man, it's gonna be hard for them. It's gonna be hard for them to come over here and cosplay. But Trump is a 34-time convicted felon of sexual assault, abuse, and bold-faced liar and possible pedo. Yeah, listen, I don't rock with Trump. I don't rock with none of the Republican Democrats. I ain't with none of them. But I'm just saying it's gonna be hard for a lot of people from outside the country to come here and get into presidential, not even presidential, but politicians. We see a lot of them come here. They could be politicians. They do a lot of things. Y'all seen the video I did last time talking about the fake diplomas you can get and come to the country and get money. It's like crazy. So I want to see what, FBA and the whole movement, everybody got to say about this. Make sure y'all hit that like button, push me on the algorithm, man. I greatly appreciate that. Everybody who is my subscribers and who always holding me down, shout out to DOD, bro. I be seeing you, DOD Black. You always be tapping in. But everybody who always be tapping in with me, man, I don't even forget y'all. I be seeing y'all. That's the same people I always see. I appreciate y'all for real.
President Trump just announced plans to permanently pause immigration from all third world countries. On November 27, 2025, he posted this on the Truth app. In that post, Trump did not explain what he meant by third world countries or what permanently pause means in practice. This announcement is connected directly to an incident where an Afghan immigrant recently shot 2 National Guards near the White House. One of the soldiers is...
Now, I did a video on that. Shout out to Savvy Sab. And Savvy Sab was saying that there could be a psyop. All right, we got to watch, how they be doing stuff. But she didn't totally believe in that whole Middle Eastern man came and shot a guard. But we're going to see what they got going on with this. Let's get it.
Dead and the other one is critically hurt. Trump said the U.S. immigration system needs to fully recover. Now, he laid out a list of plans. These are some of the policies that he intends to undertake. Number 1, terminate millions of admission, he says, were approved under the Biden admin. 2, removes anyone he believes is not a net asset to the United States. 3, he wants to undertake a major reduction in what he calls illegal and disruptive populations, for launching what he calls reverse migration, which means deporting people in order to fix the situation. These are not small changes. This sounds like a major redesign or restructure of the entire U.S. immigration system. Over the next few days, his administration will likely lay out a roadmap for dramatically more restrictive immigration policies across federal agencies. Stay tuned. Follow AK Pukulo across all.
My problem is, though, they got a lot of people just like Patel. They got a lot of foreigners that's in office. They're in office. They got positions that we can't even get. We already know about the boule, how they keep black people and they put black people in the position, so they don't really count as us. It's like they put people who come from other countries to come here before the people that's from the country.
Social media platforms for more. I'll see you soon in our next video. Bye-bye.
Here's everything you need to know before you start your weekend.
What's
Trump
up?
says he will permanently pause
You say-
migration from the following countries: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Venezuela, and more. Colorado State Senator Faith Winter was killed in a multi-vehicle car crash on an interstate just south of Denver. Trump says the U.S. will try to invade Venezuela very soon. An indigenous actress named Elaine Miles showed ICE her tribal ID when she was detained at a bus stop, and then they told her that it was fake. And that's everything you need to know before you start your weekend.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth and
FBA, Mama Lisa.
Latinos for Trump, all you that have been naturalized in the United States can soon be denaturalized, if not by Trump, maybe a next administration. Trump, in a tweet last night, went on this rampage. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions. And I bet you Latinos for Trump love that. But remember, anything that this president does, the next one can do to you. So let's keep going, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, which is a lie. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Denaturalize. He's saying the quiet part out loud. People around him have been saying this. He's saying it now. Who is in charge of saying what is undermining domestic tranquility? The president? So a liberal president can get in there and say, oh, you MAGAs are undermining this? You got to go? Hello? Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. So you still thinking you're a pick-me? Maybe in your circle, you all think it's not you. But when people from the outside look in, they look at you the same way that you look at those people without papers thinking you're better. Mija, it's you. Like, this whole timeline is nuts. And you thinking giving away your rights, allowing all of this stuff to like pass, you don't think somebody else can come in that's crazier with opposite viewpoints of yours, and you've already handed them all the keys? There's no checks and balances. Like, when are you guys gonna like wake up and think like, okay, maybe we should have more restrictions. Maybe Congress should like do their job. Come on.
Now, my point is they got a lot of people, like, look at Patel, Cash Patel. You got an Indian from a whole nother country, right? And then you got a Middle East, I ain't gonna say Indian, a Middle Eastern from another country came here. He's the FBI director. Then you got another Middle Eastern that done shot the guard. Wouldn't we say it's something wrong with the FBI director too? Because we looking at him and we like, man, he may blow up a building or something. What's going on?
If you're an African, you need to listen to this. And you need to understand the direction the world is moving. Trump says he will permanently pause migration from third world countries. Here's what that really means. US President Donald Trump has announced that he plans to permanently pause migration from what he called third world countries. But here's the twist. He didn't list which country he was referring to. This announcement came shortly after an Afghan national was accused of shooting 2 US National Guard members in Washington, D.C. According to Trump, the US needs time to recover, and he wants to remove anyone he considered not net assets to the country. And he also said he would end federal benefits to non-citizens. So what?
I mean, you got to think about it, right? Nobody wants to build this country if they're not from here. We get a lot of people that they got flags from Mexico. They put their flags wherever they from. They always throwing the flags up here, but I think it would be more right to help build your own, build where you from. If you want to rep it so hard, it's like you should be trying to build it up. Like what we trying to do here with our country. We trying to get our country, get our land back, you know, make sure that we get what was ours, that our ancestors left us. I think if you repping a whole nother country here, it just looks weird. Like, why don't you, you know what I'm saying, have that respect and repping that country and trying to build it up. Because waving that flag don't mean nothing. You got to be boots on the ground. In my opinion, what y'all think? You ain't boots on the ground, but you waving a flag in another country. It's like, that's kind of weird to me. What y'all think, though? That's what I want to know.
Exactly does third world countries mean? The term actually comes from the Cold War era, and it's outdated today. Today, the United Nations uses the term least developed countries instead. These are nations with high economic vulnerability and low income levels. The UN currently lists 44 countries with LDCs, including many Africa.
Did you see what this racist mother effer posted? I'm pissed. Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, running for the Senate seat. We must deport every single foreign invader and the radical Islamists terrorizing our people. Ken Paxton backs Donald Trump's call to pause migration. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Hello? Add this on top of the racist gerrymandered maps that they're still trying to have go through, where the Latino vote is 1 to 3 of every white person, when we are over 40% of the population in the state of Texas. And Black people, African-American people, are 5 to 1. Their vote has been diluted as well. When Texas has the largest population of Black.
Diluted. I'm glad he said that, because that's how we feel. When all of these people come here, it's like our say-so gets diluted. You know, they had bills for Asians. They put bills for a lot of people coming in this country. And it's like Claude Anderson said, they want to make us an underclass citizen. So we looking at this and we like, look, man, we trying to get our stuff right here in America. I don't know what everybody else on, but if you ain't fighting with us, I don't know what to tell you.
Black people. And this mother effer, he doesn't want us to have a voice. They want reverse migration. And if you Latinos who voted for Trump don't believe that's you, it is. Wake up. So now I wonder if the other candidates on the Democratic Party that are running for this seat are actually going to call this out, because this is some BS. Don't tell me those maps aren't racist, especially when you have someone like this, attorney generals, like.
You know what the greatest pre-workout in the world is? Everyone, my name is Dr. Nathan Bryan, international leader in molecular medicine and nitric oxide biochemistry.
Don't do that. Hold on, bro. We gotta call this guy out. Carlos Ruiz. You just said it's not Black people's land in America. You guys were forcibly brought here, bro. Have you ever looked around the world and know that it's indigenous people in everywhere on this planet? Why would you think it is no indigenous people here in America? You think they brought Black people here, but they didn't have to bring Black people in the Philippines? They're indigenous there. There's Black people indigenous to Australia, all over the world, bro. Oh man, bro, listen. That guy need to do some research. Not white or Black, bro. It's Native American land. You can't prove that. Listen, I already did shows on this, and go look up the skull of Louisa. Go look up that skull. Go do some research, because we did our research. We got people that's dating their ancestors back to the 1400s, bro. That's the whole thing. See, they tricking people like you to think that there were no Black people here because they was able to take the land. Then they bringing in other people that you think run the land, but they're just $5 Indians. It's crazy how they got y'all brainwashed like that. And we telling y'all we got family here. We telling y'all our ancestors come from here. You telling us what these people told you, who robbed it. Like, that don't even make sense, bro. You ain't got no proof. We got more proof. But scientists already proved it. Bro. All right. So you can't prove that it's indigenous people on every piece of land, everywhere. There were Black indigenous people. They even said Black people was here first. This is how you know you ain't making sense, right? They say that Black people was here first on all of the lands. And then other races came after, like Carlos Ruiz. That all of that came after Black people. Okay, y'all was Y'all wasn't original. It was first black people, then all of these other races came about. So you ain't making no sense. You saying that these other races came before us. When y'all got created from our race through genetics, bro. You guys claim to be the real Native Americans and deny DNA tests. Going back and forth with you, it'll be like, bro, you gotta watch my video. I did so many videos on this. It's all on the internet. You don't know where you came from, bro. Listen, anybody with pale skin, white skin was made, that was created. You're genetically modified. And that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day.
Rais hapa amesema there is no more immigrations from third world countries. So then this is the third world country. I think we still have a possibility ya watu kukuja hapa. I know ni kwa sababu kuna shida ilifanyika hapa. Kuna jamaa.
He put, where's the truth? Where's the proof? The proof is us black people can make, we've created white-skinned people. We created that. So that's the proof for you. You can't, ain't no Indian can't produce a black person. So how could they be on a piece of land before us? Or a Native American who you say, Angloid, or whatever you think that is. You think they were there first.
Alitoka hiyo nchi ya penye walikuwa wameenda kupigana, alafu akaleta visanga hapa, akaenda akapiga risasi wanajeshi wawili kutoka hapa, ni na majamaa walikuwa wamepewa maneno makaratasi green card.
Coming from the third world country.
Yeah, so what he trying to say is they land like they came from us. Bro, black people, y'all came from us. Y'all was genetically modified. The scientists, go look up Yakub and see what he did with playing with races and tried to make different breeds or races of people. That Christopher Columbus story that they told you about, bro, they didn't put, that's crazy. Right, he put Christopher Columbus described the people he saw here and looked like Ethiopians, which was Africa at the time. Look it up. That's what I'm saying, man. Carlos Ruiz, bro, you is lost, bro. You ain't never seen a Spanish person or a white person create a black person. And you want to tell us that they was on the land before us? I'm Afro-Latino and my ancestors came from Africa. You guys are pretendians. I also have Native American ancestors, unlike you, right? You one of them, you the pretendian. You talking about you got Native. How you from Africa and you got Native American ancestors? That don't even make sense, bro. But they don't even claim the same too. You know, the scientists proved it, aka, but the white man said, right, he want to believe what the white man said. You put, I'm Afro-Latino. It's called mixed race. Bro, how is so you saying your ancestors mixed from African people, from Native American? You saying that they mixed and made you. You can't make this stuff up. We have a tether here, for real. You hear what this guy saying? He's saying that his ancestors from Africa and the Native American. So he got like, you know, he's African. He's an African American. That's what he's trying to tell us. We were brought here.
Countries are the problem. And so he vows to permanently shut migration from people coming from third world countries. This is where we need Ruto to move our country very fast with speeds from third world countries.
Carlos, you can't name a piece of land on this earth that it wasn't black people on there. You can't name a piece. Always remember that too. Ain't no piece of land, even in China, everywhere, Asia, Europe. Okay, white people came after that, and whatever you is, you saying you Latino, whatever. I don't believe you Afro-Latino, because you would know if you was real Afro-Latino. You know, it's an indigenous land in Mexico and in Puerto Rico that black people are still there. I visited these places. What place do you think you can go where it's no Aboriginal people that's black that been there for a long time? I'm recognized with both. I mean, Carlos playing the 3-card Monty trolling. My ancestors are African and I had Native American history, but I speak Spanish and claim Latino. Get the fuck out. What's up with this dude, bro? That's what I'm saying. Then gonna say it ain't no Native American black people here. That's just crazy, bro. You don't even sound like you know where you come from, bro. You sound like you just saying a whole bunch of stuff. Right. I don't know what's wrong with homie, man.
Into first world countries.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan.
Look at his name. His name is Carlos Ruiz. his name is Carlos Ruiz, bro. You know he looked like what's the guy name? The Spanish fighter who used to fought Floyd Mayweather. He playing 3-card Monty. He is a little bit of everything. That's what I'm saying. With a name like Carlos Ruiz. That is Spanish name, bro. Your people's is Spaniards, bro. You speak Spanish. We know this. Don't do this to us, bro. Don't even do this with us.
Mr. Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror.
Tired of wasting money at the pump?
Carlos,
Explore the RXO fuel card for owner-operators.
Africa or Native America.
By Wednesday night, immigration authorities.
You wouldn't have a last name like Ruiz, Carlos. And that's your name too, bro. Don't try to change your name now. You tried to change your heritage. Your name Carlos Ruiz. We know that has nothing. You don't have that's not African. That's not Native American.
Authorities announced they were indefinitely halting all processing of Afghan immigration requests.
The president last night also calling for what he described as reverse migration. In a lengthy post to social media, he wrote, quote, "I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States." We have, of course.
So beyond that, Trump vows to also cancel most of the issued green cards from the previous administration, Joe's administration. He calls him Sleepy Joe. He says that Sleepy Joe issued most of the immigration visas while he was sleeping. So this is funny. But he vows also to deal with over 1 million migrants who are in the US currently. And this is, I think, can be connected to the crackdowns by ICE, where most people have been reported deported. And this is affecting even people with the smallest criminal records or some issue with the states or you know, with the.
Hey Carlos, but you saying you Afro-Latino. That has nothing to do with Africa with that name. So it still don't make sense. An African call themselves African. We was calling ourselves they wanted us to call ourselves African American. So how are you taking any of your African that you're saying with the Afro-Latino? Afro mean American. Trump got them in their feelings about that third world country. Don't be mad at me. You need to be mad at Trump, bro. Like, why is you pointing all of this on us? Talking about what we don't want to claim, bro. They telling you they don't want you in their country, bro. And we ain't the one who said that. We're originally from here. We got documentation to be from this land. My great grandma was Cherokee Indian, bro. That's what she told us. She didn't say she was from Africa. None of my grandmas said we from Africa. None of them said that. None of my grandfathers, none of them was from Africa. They was from right here, bro. Florida, Mississippi, the Carolinas. That's where all our people was from. I don't know what you're talking about. They don't know nothing about Africa. The white man said from way back when everybody's from Africa. He said when the human race started, they said Africa was the first place. So in that term, they trying to tell everybody they from Africa, but they don't call the Europeans African. They don't call the Chinese African. They don't call the Spaniards African. So don't mix us with that. Don't mix
law, something like that. That leads you to being deported. So now this makes everything difficult, especially for people who are not even involved with all these dramas, especially the Kenyans who are back home and all they want is a greener pasture. Makes things even more difficult. But the worst thing is for the Somalis. What did Somalis do to the US? Because Trump said that Somalis are a problem. I mean, what happened to Somalis in the US?
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but...
Anyway, could this be the reason as to why Ruto, with speeds want to transform Kenya from third world countries into a first world country? Because again, the plan is supposed to take 30 years. People like me will be almost 70 years. So it's not going to be so much beneficial, but maybe for our kids. But I don't know. Being in from a third world country is feels some type of way. I don't know what is your thoughts regarding this, because personally, I think that our regime, our administration, our governments should focus more on, creating more jobs locally so that people can stop these migration.
No, I mean, creating more jobs. They ain't doing nothing but giving them away to all the people that's from other places. Look at Cash Patel. Cash Patel is an FBI director. We tired of seeing all of these Middle Easterns come over here and get jobs. You got Chinese, you got a lot of countries come over here and just work. They supposed to be at the bottom line behind us, if you ask me.
Process trying to look for greener pastures outside our country, because I believe countries like Kenya are capable of creating jobs, creating industrial, making the country an industrial kind of a country, focusing on growing our own economy so that we can get more youth, more people having or getting something to do locally, rather than trying to go outside the countries to seek for work or something like that. It's my opinion, though. I don't know what you think about that, but anyway, open for discussions.
Breaking news, Trump said that he will permanently stop migration from the third world country. In other words, he said that he will stop people from the poor country or developing country from going to USA. So this is the list of countries people often incorrectly call them as the third world. Number 1 is Burundi, Central African Republic, DR Congo, Eritrea, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Niger, Somalia, South Sudan, Togo, Burkina Faso, Chad, Angola, Benin, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Comoros, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Egypt, Eswatini, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Mauritania, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal.
And this is going to make Pan-Africanism mad at us even more, because they're going to want us to go to these trips over there, and we're going to be like, no, man, we're going to keep our citizenship. I'm traveling inside the U.S. now until further notice. I'm seeing the South. I want to see everything around America.
Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Tunisia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Even if you're in USA and you still have a green card, you are still not safe. Trump said that he is going to do screening, and if you are from the third world country, your visa will be revoked and you will be returned from your own country. This list is an example of the countries which might be affected. So Trump did not give his own list of the third world country according to him. So right now we are just waiting to see exactly what he's going to say.
So Trump is putting a permanent ban on migration into the United States from third world countries. Well, that's pretty.
I noticed that, FBA really ain't caring about this. We just it's really kind of like, wow, like this is happening, but we ain't really worried. But you see how everybody else like panicking. It's like they nervous. They feel like that dream of coming here, getting a bag is going down the window. It's okay. You can build up where you from. Where you from, you need to go handle that business over there. Stand with your ancestors in that lineage. Y'all got to do what FBA doing. We trying to stand with our ancestors, what they was fighting for, their lineage. Everybody need to do the same. That's why y'all don't really like what we doing, because y'all don't want to take that accountability.
Open statement, or subjective, dare I say. Well, actually, no, it's not, because we know developing countries from non-developed countries based on how they run economically. But let's have a look at this and see what's going on. So Trump releases a blistering Thanksgiving message promising a historic pause on immigration, mass removals, and reverse migration. Here's the breakdown. Now, just before I start this, I've told you that this is the general consensus across most of the Western world. We've tried the migration thing. We've tried the multiculturalism thing. It has failed. And as I've said to you before,
it has failed miserably. Where can you go, right? If you're an American, you can go to another country and be like a mayor, a governor. Where can you be? Where can you go in there and be an FBI director? You leave America and you go to another country and you like calling shots over there. You can't do it. Why are we letting people do this? It's crazy, right? It's like the people who from the country don't have no say, so we got to get other people from otherwhere, and then it's all a scam to me. I feel like it's a scam because these people are going to be controlled. They're not going to talk about our reparations, our 40 acres and a mule, the stuff that our ancestors was fighting the government for. They not going to care about that. Y'all heard what the New York man up there saying? I'm an immigrant. This is a state, New York, for immigrants. He ain't never once mentioned the people who made it available for you to even come here. You ain't even salute our people to be like, man, I appreciate FBA and them for standing on business to let, migrations come here and let people come. I don't care.
And I've been right 10 out of 10 so far on everything that we talk about objectively on this channel about what the outcomes of this will be. Remigration policy will be a normal policy for most manifestos of governments across Western Europe and the West in its, as a whole. Whether that's South Korea, Japan, we're already seeing it in Japan with their new hardline female prime minister. She's the tough on crime and immigration leader. Like, no more. It's all coming to an end now. North America obviously is the leader in this case, and Trump is hedging the way with stuff like this. I mean, it's a pretty ballsy statement, I have to admit, but again, it's not up for me to make my opinion. It's just what is. So here's the context. This is Donald Trump's full Thanksgiving statement posted on X. It outlines what may be his clearest and most extreme immigration agenda today. So main points, what he actually said. So America is being harmed by mass immigration. Trump opens by saying Americans have allowed the country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at because of political correctness and stupid immigration policies. I don't entirely disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think this is the general consensus now. And whether you like it or not, this is the general consensus of most normal people across most Western countries. I would put money down that 80 to 90% of indigenous people of European.
Oh, look, I'm getting a call from one of those unknown numbers.
Have you tried reversephone.com?
Reversephone.com?
Said somebody did.
Countries and the West, North America as well, feel exactly the same way. I would argue that it's a minority group that thinks this is actually working. And I'd argue that that minority group are the ethnic minority groups within those nations. Those are the people that you probably see sort of contending against this, aggressively, including, people that are on the far left as well. He states the US foreign population is 53 million, citing census. He claims most are on welfare or from failed states, prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or cartels. To say most, that's I don't know if that's true. I'd have to fact check that particular thing. With Trump, you can't take every single word that he says seriously, but
this definitely has something to do with Black people in our wealth gap here in America. The wealth gap from Black people to a white person. I think they even let immigrants may be higher than us as far as the wealth gap. So it's like we looking at all of this and seeing all of these people coming over here. The wealth gap is going to have to change if we was a priority.
Take him seriously, because it means he will take action. What he does next, we'll have to see. But here's what's going on. So it says a migrant earning $30,000 receives $50,000 in benefits. Immigration is the leading cause of America's decline. He blames refugee inflows for failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Yeah. Yeah, chickens have come home to roost, mate. We let the fox in the hen house. He said, you're talking about Minnesota now. Somali refugees are taking over Minnesota. Somali gangs are roving the streets. He attacks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Representative Ilhan Omar personally. This is the woman that married her brother to stay in the country, by the way. So I don't know why the hell she's still in government. I think if you're a foreign-born citizen, you should not be allowed to participate in any government.
Exactly. You should only black people should be in only FBA. You cannot be, Cash Patel can't be from India and then come over here and be an FBI director. There's no case where we can go anywhere else, y'all, and be a president. Look at Barack Obama. He really from Africa, whatever, and he come over here, he could be a president. It's like, this is crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's crazy that we don't get
public service job ever. If you're not born in the country, you should not be allowed to be a public figure. I'm sorry.
You can't be a public figure because you can be if you have to be born here. If you're born here, you good. But how the heck, man? We tired of this. Ain't y'all tired of this? It was a Chinese lady who went to jail in California, and she was doing some kind of sending money back to China or whatever, and they had some kind of operation going on over there in Cali. And it's like, bruh, I'm not trying to be racist against these people. It's just this how it is everywhere else. We don't see no American going to anywhere else and being a president, being a mayor, and doing anything. So we got to have the same rules. It's only for the people that's in the land. I don't want to see a Cash Patel. I don't want to see a Chinese person. I don't want to see another, a Jewish person. I don't want to see these people. I want to see the people that's from here.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's just, and she isn't. So his 2025-2029 immigration plan, as stated explicitly, Trump lists the following proposed actions: permanently pause migration from all third world countries, terminate all Biden-era admissions, including those he says were signed with Biden's auto pen, remove anyone not considered a net asset to the US, remove anyone incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies for non-citizens, deneutralize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, deport any foreign national who is a public charge, a security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization, pursue reverse migration, his terms for removing large numbers of already admitted immigrants. He says only reverse migration can cure the situation.
What you said, man, it'll take 100 years to clean out the system created by the Democrats and corporations. Yeah, because some people were scamming and they're getting these people in the office. They helping them get in the office. They giving them fake degrees, fake degrees from these colleges. That's how this really is getting a problem, because we got truckers on the road that don't even speak English. We got, medical field nurses that just bought their nurse's license and they're working on people, and they, it's like we don't even know who the people is. Like, y'all working here and y'all don't even know how to read the signs. It's like, it's dangerous for us, bro. This is why countries don't do it. This is why countries don't have that, because they like, that's gonna cause a problem. It's a conflict of interest
situation. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you about remigration becoming the norm? America has just put their foot down on this. Don't ramp about with him, because once he says something, he's going to do it. So who are those countries? We don't know who they are. I mean, at a glance, I could argue after this Afghan that's killed 2 public service members of the National Guard, which was an atrocious thing. He shot 2 of them dead. And now look at the response he's giving. One incident, and the guy's not ramping about.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. 63 of y'all in there. Appreciate it, y'all, for tapping in. Y'all always can support me on the Patreon. Let's get it.
Meanwhile, over here, Keir Starmer has this: be patient, we'll deal with it, take your time, we'll wait for a few more to take place, and then we'll assess the situation once everyone's dead. Like, what? Like, if you don't get a grip on this, you will see extreme coming from the right, which is what I've warned about as well. If we don't address the elephants in the room, you will get people that will vote emotionally, that will be angry if you don't address the vast majority, the silent majority of this country. This is going to get worse from the right if they don't address, if the left-leaning governments in office right now don't address these issues. It's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. And I don't want to live in a far-right country either, but if we don't address these basic problems on a principle level, it's going to get worse and escalate to the point where we'll start seeing British National Party having seats in Parliament, which, as far as I'm concerned, I'm buggered if that's the case, because you know, those guys have an agenda that's more in line with the Nazis than it is anything else, as far as I'm concerned. And I won't be part of that agenda at all. So that's what we have to be careful with as well. We can't go too far to the right, okay? But we have to have these people address the problems. And the more they ignore them, the more angry and upset people are going to be. It's very simple. It's not rocket science, this stuff, okay? So the implications here and why this matters. These proposals go beyond previous Trump policies and move into ideological screening, revoking citizenship. Well, to be fair, if you've got statistics that support that the vast majority of these people that are coming from third world countries are causing the issues, that's not ideological screening. That is just factual, objective screening. Like, if that's what the data says, because data is not racist. Data is not racist. So if you're offended by data, you're part of the problem.
Okay, but this the thing, right? We can easily just get immigrants, right? Even in the drug trade, you can get people that's not from this country. You can have them do illegal things and they ain't gonna do nothing but deport them out. It's like you can get in trouble and get caught for whatever, and all they're gonna do is kick you out and go back to your country. That's not a punishment. Well, it is like a punishment because, yeah, like you in America, you're going back to a third world country. But imagine if you from the country anyway and you come here just to do a job and you get, you get money and then you leave and they kick you out. It's like we don't want that kind of danger around.
So revoking citizenship, mass removal of existing immigrant populations, a permanent pause on third world immigration would effectively block entry from most of Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and parts of Asia.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but would you complain about that? I think at the moment, if it's something that is an issue statistically, then you need to look at it. Sorry, so guys, outside of the Western world, they don't have PC culture. We are losing the race competitively if we keep virtue signaling and playing a game of PC culture and bureaucratic nonsense. We have to have a hard line somewhere. There has to be common sense, whether it's offensive to people or not, where we have to draw the line to have and remain to have a competitive edge. In the UK, we haven't learned that lesson yet. We're remaining to be politically correct, which is now nothing short of detrimental to our future. Okay, because we're afraid to mention the elephants in the room because of PC culture. We're going to get our...
If we would have had, imagine how many reparation talk we would have been having if we would have had us in it. They would have had to give us them 40 acres. Black Wall Street would have been rebuilt. It's a lot of stuff that we would have been forcing policies pushing, but if it's somebody from another, they ain't gonna push no policies for us.
Get ourselves at the back of the line very quickly if we don't address the problems. This is it. Our competitors and our adversaries are winning because they don't have any of this. It doesn't exist. When one person says go, everyone says how far and how high, sir or madam. It's very simple. So we need to address these things quickly so we can move on and then become competitive again. That's it for now on this, guys. Look, I don't disagree with most of that. I think at the moment, in the way in which the world is moving, we need to think about domestic policy. As far as I'm concerned, we should stop all foreign aid completely until we get a grip on the situation first, because we are...
I'm with it. Stop sending money to all of these countries. We need money here. It's like we sending billions of dollars to all of these countries, bro. While we still paying taxes for this. All of this money, like you shouldn't be able to send no money to no other country unless we have to vote on that. But you know how they do, they probably getting kickbacks. You send money, get a little couple,
hemorrhaging money. We are hemorrhaging talented people. We are just hemorrhaging everything. This is not working. And if we don't address these problems, the basic stuff, we're going to be up shit creek without a paddle. And 50 years from now, this place is just going to be a hellhole. It will be a hellhole. It will be a northwestern province of something that we probably don't want. You know what I'm talking about. And it will probably be one of the, I don't know if you can reverse a country's economic status from developed to undeveloped, but if we keep doing this, it's over. You import third world, you get third world. It's very simple. It's not offensive. Those are just the facts. You heard it first from DK. Goodbye.
Okay, Donald Trump.
Definitely, we would have had them reparations, but it ain't too late. We still got to push for it. But now I think a lot of immigrants is getting in the way, and it's just like a lot of confusion going on. So now it's clear. I think we'll be able to really focus on us and stop sending money everywhere, and we'll get the money we deserve.
For years, nearly every solution for erectile dysfunction has focused on one thing: blood flow. And while that's
sell them pills, boy.
What are you doing now? I'm watching the news and I see that you're talking about putting a permanent pause on third world immigration or third world country immigration. Permanent pause? What is that? Pause is temporary. How can you say permanent pause? You're gonna temporarily pause mass immigration from third world countries. Donald Duck, I see what you're doing, but I just don't understand how you go about things. Like a lot of things you do, it seems like you're trying to save America, but it's the way you go about it and the decision making and the way you say it and your arrogance and the disrespect. It's not gonna last, brother.
You hear this dude, bro? Like, see, y'all, they want to be able to come here and just dog out the country, get the money, send it. It's just.
Always told people on this very channel that there are consequences for every actions, and that the sin of one man or one woman can go a long way affecting an entire nation, causing problems for everyone unexpectedly. And that is what I call multipliers effect. United States of American government under the leadership of Mr. Donald J. Trump has just in the last few hours suspended indefinitely any immigration processing requests from the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, popularly known as.
Now, we wouldn't care if when they come here, they'll be like, man, we want to thank the people who made a way for us to come here. Let's make sure these indigenous people that's here is taken care of and we not taking advantage of them first. It's like you got to have that respect. It's like coming in somebody's house and making sure taking your shoes off at the door. I'm gonna make sure you feel it's like you got to be able to do that, because now if you let the system manipulate the people that's here, it's like now it's gonna be bad for everybody. Tell the think Trump should be kissing his behind. Man, anytime I went to another country, I'm always respectful of the people that's here, the original people that's here. I'm never gonna want to ever go to a country, bro, and just feel like I'm just gonna step on people's foot and be like, I'm gonna get this and just tell y'all what to do. It just feel out of place to me. I feel like that ain't my business. I wouldn't even want to be in your politics. I wouldn't want to be in your politics because I'm like, that's y'all business. What y'all got over here. I think it's weird to come to another country and you in their politics and you talking about the people in the country. It's just weird to me.
As Afghanistan to many persons all over the world. This very latest decision from the government of Mr. Donald J. Trump started trending after the Washington, D.C. shooting just few blocks away from the United States of American White House, where 2 National Guards were heavily injured. And consequently, as we speak, it has been confirmed that those 2 National Guards finally succumbed to their injuries. That is to say, they finally had their last breath. And as we speak, while United States of American citizens are celebrating their Thanksgiving scheduled today on the 27th of November, 2025, the families of these 2 National Guards will be mourning heavily. I extend my heartfelt condolence to the families of 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf.
We have a very unfortunate update now from the governor of West Virginia, just in the last couple of moments here. He is confirming that both of the National Guard members that were shot today have passed away, have succumbed to their injuries. And I'm going to read this updated post now from the West Virginia.
But we've sent trillions of dollars to countries, bro. Not Israel, but all of them. But we never had the money for us. This is why we upset. We sitting here like, don't tell us you ain't got the money. We've seen trillions of dollars go out the country.
A governor here. It is with great sorrow that we can confirm both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today in Washington, D.C. have passed away from their injuries. These brave West Virginians lost their lives in the service of their country. We are in ongoing contact with federal officials as the investigation continues. Our entire state grieves with their families.
Can you imagine going to another country and you working there and you calling the people who they're lazy and stuff, like you just calling them out their name? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, I would never go to a country and want to talk to the down on the people that's there. But people they do that here. I remember even some cultures, right? Like, they don't even spend money with Americans, like the Chinese, like Indians. You ever try to sell them stuff, they only buy from their own. You feel me? So it's like, this is what we got to deal with. It's like, y'all come here and y'all just don't do you don't want to do no business with nobody but your own. And y'all have this patch of people here that y'all can network with, get money with. It's like, it's getting out of hand, man.
Their loved ones and the Guard community. West Virginia will never forget their service or their sacrifice, and we will demand full accountability for this horrific act. We have 2 families in West Virginia that will not see their children come home ever again.
Yeah, they do the welfare. They doing this all while receiving free stuff like SNAP and welfare, and tell us that we lazy. Yeah, they come up, bro. You even got white people doing it. They are just, that's why black people are the only ones that's here. That's why we ain't getting the benefits. You see, white people got food stamps. I was seeing how the Jewish people come here, and just because they married through the state, they married through the church, they can get on food stamps and stuff like that. Like, they can do a lot of stuff. But here we getting the shit end of the stick.
Because they've been shot by a murderer in the middle of the nation's capital, only a few blocks away from the White House, a city that is supposed to be the safest city in America. And we have now all witnessed together 2 National Guard troops, 2 young men or women, we don't know yet, have now lost their lives in the line of duty.
These 2 militarized, gallant soldiers were on duty just few hours after they were sworn in at their duty post. Was when the suspect struck using a revolver that heavily injured these 2 militarized officers. They were rushed to the hospitals. Several surgeries were carried out, performed, and many persons were praying and hoping that they survive it all. But unfortunately, they could no longer be seen in the land of the living as the United States of American citizens celebrate Thanksgiving for the year 2025. It terrifies me personally. Thereafter, the security agencies in the United States of America swung into action in collaboration with FBI. According to the FBI director, Dr. Patel, this very act by the suspect is currently being treated as a terrorism act. And according
Okay, let me hear what this Carlos talking about. We always keep a tether in the chat. You guys block people because you can't handle the truth. You guys have white names. Also, probably think David Ortiz is white because of his name. Call dog, what's good, bro? Man, what is you talking about, bro? What is you talking about? We're talking about this land. People that come from this land, period. If your name is Carlos Ruiz, your ancestors don't have no, we know the names and the people that come from this land. I don't know what homie talking about. How we blocking people? If we originally from this land and we telling you that they got pretendians, you calling us pretendians, but we ain't get no benefits. And my grandma told me she was Cherokee Indian. She didn't say I was from Africa. None of my greats, none of us, our lineage, they don't know, they never said Africa. So why would I lie to myself and say Africa? You want me to lie to myself? You want me to put something on me that the history books are telling you? I'm calling you what my ancestors. I always tell people I'm Cherokee because that's what my grandparents told me. They didn't say Africa. Now you trying to say that we trying to be pretending. Why would we be lying about that, bro? We ain't got nothing to lie for. It's millions of people that's saying the same thing I'm saying, coming from the same area of the South I'm coming from. The Seminole War, the Florida War in 1500. This is Google information. You can Google, bro. He put his pure Coke City in here, pointing to other people's issues while Memphis saved task forces disappearing black men by the hundred. FBA men too busy rapping each other in jail to fight back. Yeah. He put talk about your white blood. There ain't no white people in my family. Ain't no white blood in my family. What you talking about? Bro, look. I don't know what you coming in here talking about, but like you gotta, how you gonna tell what somebody ancestry is? I told you about my ancestors. Shout out to Becky said. Have you heard of the Seek Deep project? No, we ain't going that. All right, so Jersey Drive, but my family been telling me we were Indian since I was a child. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a lot of people saying that, bro. You know, my great grandma name was Nora. That ain't even in the Roots. Even in the Roots movie, they had indigenous black Indians in the movie. Go watch the movie. Weird Tether stalking us like weirdos. How you gonna try to tell somebody where they from, bro? And then tell me you from here? What your grandparents, Carlos, what your grandparents said where they was from? I guarantee you they ain't say here, and they weren't saying they was Cherokee Indian. Africans ain't locking you up in all them nigga cities. Stalker. Salute, raise head. Cherokee, one of the largest tribes in America. For real, man. That delineation shook the game up. Pandora's box is open. We ain't closing. But when have you heard of somebody that want to tell another group of people what they are? Who does that, bro? I ain't never want to tell. If you now, Carlos talking about he African and he African and Native American, and his name is Carlos Ruiz. I'm like, bro, what is you talking about, bro? Like that. Now I'm gonna say you ain't making no sense, but when you try to tell somebody where they from and they telling you what their grandparents is telling them, and it's millions of people saying what I'm saying, it's like y'all just trying to tell us, y'all just want to make us from Africa so we can go back and they can take over the land and be able to ship immigrants here and ship all kind of people here. That's the real play. That's what it's making me think. He Filipino talking and he from here. Real, bro. Like, how you talk about you from here? But Hispanics literally fought in court and on the battlefield to be classed as white, and they got their way. Hispanics are white folks, bro. Chinese too, all of them. They considered, white. They ain't considered black at all. They put immigrants, tethered, anchor babies, feel entitled to say anything about us. Like, bro, how you gonna tell a whole group of people where they from? You feel me? Why don't you call the Caucasians Europe Americans? You call them American. if he label a white person right now, he gonna say a white person is American. He ain't go, he gonna give them what they want to call them. Whatever they want to call themselves, he gonna call them that. But when we want to call ourselves something, they got a problem. Like that means you white, bro. You're a white man. You put Black Americans have European names also. They want to swap them. Bro, if we were Indians, right? But what that got to do with your name? We talking about you. None of the tellers have done anything in their homeland. South America looks like that's how you know it's not. You get what I'm saying? That's how you know they don't do nothing in their own homeland, bro. And they trying to get us to go somewhere where we ain't from. Let me let this man cook.
Into verifiable information that has been made available so far by FBI, the suspect who committed this very heinous act is a 29-year-old Rahman Ullah Lakanwal who hails from Afghanistan. And according to the same sources of information, Mr. Rahman Ullah Lakanwal got into the United States of America in the year 2021. This young man was privileged to have entered the United States of America in that same year, 2021, under Operation Allies Welcome, an initiative that was introduced under Joe Biden's era as a way of welcoming into the United States of America, troops or people that helped, the United States of American troops and soldiers while they were deployed in Afghanistan. Many of them worked as translators. Many of them worked as, support systems to the troops in helping them to manage effectively their mission for being in Afghanistan. This 29-year-old Rahman Ullah, at some point in Afghanistan, also worked with the American CIA, unit, but it has not been made clear what function and what role he actually played while working at the CIA, segment of the United States of American soldiers and, security agents that were deployed in Afghanistan in those years. And according to Homeland Security, that finally revealed the identity of this very suspect, Rahman Ullah Lakanwal, they confirmed that his last residence is actually in Washington State. It is quite crazy how the sin of one man will end up destroying the chances of other persons from the same nation. You can clearly tell that what this young man did is a blow.
Right.
Yes, it's a very big blow to the United States of America. Not just because he's from Afghanistan, but for the singular reason that these two militarized officers are supposed to be celebrating with their families. And this happened just few blocks away from the White House. It terrifies me, like I said from the introduction of this very video. So the
right, dude say he got Native American ancestry and African. Like, how did it happen? Yes, African and the Seminoles, it's already proven. Nah, buddy. Bro, where did you get your education from, bro? Burger King? What city you in, bro? Like, he's European, bro. He got a European ideology. He definitely got a European ideology. I want to show y'all this. Let's hear some of our FBA brothers speak on. Like, this what we own. See, this the kind of talk this what I really for us to be having. Right? So you're gonna see, like, this how we get down over here.
There we go. I thought they was gonna do the same thing again.
Oh shit. Oh, listen, man. So everybody, listen, man. This is so funny, man. Right? This is so funny, right? This is why it's so important for us to start. It's time to start owning technology, man. Like it's diabolical. It's just diabolical the amount of resistance we have to go through when we need to have conversations about elevation. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, what we spoke on the phone earlier, in terms of direct to consumer, and then e-commerce, right? Like saying, okay, we have the ability to create systems, which you have a stronger knowledge base than me in that area. But we also have the opportunity for direct to consumer. I want to choose my words carefully, because I don't think that we can move forward unless we have a
bro. Number one, he talking about something. Look, Chad ain't look. Yeah, we calling you Chad, bro. We calling you Chad Greenrich. Look, of course I have some European. Why you ain't claim it then? Why you telling us you Native American and African? Why you ain't just say I'm European? You don't know what you is, bro. You got some European in you. You say you Native American, you African. You just want to be able to be on everybody's land without having to say that. Where is your piece of land from? Where is your family from? What piece of land do you call your homeland? Right now, it looks like you don't call, like you got too many homelands. You got Europe. You got too much going on. Right. What's in the blood, bro? What's in your blood? That's what I'm saying. This man said he European now too. He European. He probably got mostly European. You probably like Nick Fuentes, bro. I'm telling you. European and white. Everybody came from Africa, so they say. So your people say, so you could always say that. But the white race was only around for the last couple thousand years, bro. Even your Spaniards, even your Chinese, they wasn't around, bro. They just started being around in the world. It wasn't like that all the time.
A direct to consumer approach on the grassroots level.
I think both of them are required. Myself, just because we living in the future. You understand me? We living in the future. And it's like right now, what's the difference between, we have, if we get 10,000 people on the line that we're able to communicate directly, and each person is based and able to take action based on the information that we give them, then we connect with them in person. You understand?
Stopping there. Yeah, like you said, bro, we got Albert Perry, the oldest DNA. We did a video on that, Carlos. Look up Albert Perry and see that the oldest DNA, the oldest traced human that you can trace is right here in the Americas, and he's a black man. We got facts on that. For real, we got facts on that. But black Americans have European DNA as well. No. Europeans have our DNA in them because we came first before them. They got created from black people, bro. So how you going? They've been putting all them $5. They've been putting all them $5 out of them tribes after the DNA been shown. Clayton Bigsby. Man saying we got white people DNA in us, like we was here first, bro. They did that genetically modified and made other races. That's how you hear, bro. That's why you hear. They was just genetically. I'm gonna show you a couple pictures. I did a live on this. You can't name me no white person, no Spanish person that can birth a black baby with two of the same race of white people or two of the same race of Spanish people. You would never see them birth a white baby, a black baby. We got black people birthing white babies, bro. That tells you everything. You can't never say somebody come from. You can't never say they're not. No, we in their DNA. What's wrong with you?
understand me? Or we connect with them in person and we broadcast what we're doing in person, then that reaches another million people. I think we living in a time where, you know, black people down there got everything we need except each other. That's it. We got every resource, every technology, every product, every information. We don't really need nothing else. You feel me? It's like we was given all of the tools. The question is how we go use them.
Right, 100%. So I guess what I was thinking about, was, okay, how do we have goals and deadlines, right? How do we have goals and deadlines? Because, you know, there's a frustration that I have because I look at, I don't know on your end, but in New York we have like Crown Heights, right? It's a huge so-called Jewish population, and
yeah, with the Hasidic buses and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. And I'm talking about every month, every 45 to 90 days, there's a new building going up in that community. Right. And what he is struggling, laughing about Dr. Umar Johnson's inability to build a school. We're giving pushback when it's time for us to build things in the community, right? So how do we, and it's a question I have to you, but the answer that I have for this question is direct to consumer. How do we own institutions in our community if we don't go out actively, mobilize, organize the community, pool that money together and say, okay, what do we need? We know we need our own police department. So if we don't, how do we have our own police department if we don't have gun clubs in the ghetto? How do we have our own department if we don't have an organization that can make sure the people in the neighborhood gets their carrier license so they're not carrying firearms, right? They're not carrying illegal firearms. And then police officers get paid off of us, the community, our taxpayers' dollars, right? We pay taxes, right? So this is when the conversation that we had when we first met, it was years ago, right? And I was telling you about creating our own reparation tax, creating a debit card, right? And charging an extra $2 off of every item that is bought through that card. It's an extra tax, and then a portion of that tax goes towards a fund that community benefits off of, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna pass the mic in 2 seconds. Let me just grab my pen real quick.
Nah, right? you. I'm gonna introduce you to somebody as well. It's my brother his name is Tommy Johnson, right? So I'm gonna send you this video. You will love this fucking video because he did this video. He's sitting with these two white guys and they asked him what he do, and he asked him. He said, you know, you ever seen the kosher symbol, right? That's on the packages of food. He said that's in like 92% of households. The kosher package actually is a licensed thing that they do. So before you go get certain products, you got to go to essentially it's kind of like a mafia. You got to get that K symbol on there. They take a percentage of that money, and that's what they fund things. So they
even with like he's saying, like that's why I want to show him. You said 4000 BC Caucasus Mountain, right? Like them caves. Chad Johnson is a white name, also running back from the Titans. Said I'm white because my name off the logic. He's white also with a white name. What? This guy here crazy.
Fund trips to Israel, right? They'll fund different community events. They'll fund, of course, anti-Semitism, all etc. So essentially, they commodify a way to where they can take, right, the circulation of your dollar to help their people. So we did the same thing to say everything that is made by black culture, made by black people, and we say that we're only supporting things with the stamp that has made on it. That becomes a tax to make sure that every single thing that we make, you then take a percentage of that, and then you put it into the development of schools, grassroots organizations. You understand me? Ending food deserts, etc., etc. Now, this is a system that's set up, though.
We need a combination. We need a combination of both, because if you have a card, like when you go to ATM, right? If you go to ATM, right, that ATM determines the tax that they want on the money that's being taken out. Okay, so
and just for everybody, they want to see it's made with black culture.
Fire.
When you've got a classic ride, you make time to work on it.
So,
but
bro, Caucasians been here for a few hundred years. He put European DNA doesn't necessarily mean white, black Europeans were also trafficked to the U.S. during the slave trade. Right, because I'm saying having a DNA, what you saying as European, is kind of weird, and it kind of don't make sense if the Europeans came after black people. That's what I'm saying. That's proven facts that the European race came after black people. So what is you really saying? This is actual history. Ancestors are originally from Dominican Republic, and my African ancestors were forcefully brought.
But you what I'm saying is the method and what you had broken down to me beforehand, the brother did a lot of the research and he put that into a system. You know what I mean? And not only is the system is actually utilizing the blockchain as well to track everything. Right? So the only thing
you put David Ortiz is darker than me. What does that mean, bro? This man said all Hispanics are white. Bro, Spain, if you see, let them play. I'm gonna let y'all get at it in
he have to do, and this is what we was working on the back end as we do the tour, we was registering businesses, right? So it also tracks whether you're doing something for the black community. So let's say my last tour, as I went around the streets, I gave money to New Era Detroit, I gave money to the Unity Movement. So he go track that to make sure that you can't just say you for the people, but we get to track your impact. Then you get to track black people that are hired as well. You understand me? So now a lot of people be thinking you just pull some shit out your ass and you're doing something. People don't get to track your impact and all the work that you get to do. With this, you can't just say you for black people. If we can,
y'all on the chat going in, so we're gonna keep it on what y'all on the chat going in. But Latinos don't deny the African heritage. So do white people deny? Do white people deny the African heritage? Carlos, that's BS. A lot do. Yeah, y'all deny it. Latinos don't.
can't track the impact, and it should be easy, right? So like I just did some business with Superman yesterday. I just gave some money to some backpack giveaway and some shit in the street, my brother Mr. Fab, and we did an event with Ryan Coogler. It was a men's mental health event, all for free, right? But just for them allowing my product to be there, right, while the cameras is there, I took a percentage of all our earnings that month, and then I gave it back to that organization. So now that would be tracked. That means that now my product is made by black culture because, right, I actually have direct connection. Either I'm employing or I'm giving back in some actual real meaningful way.
Right, for sure. I agree. So again, okay, so let's think about this real quick, right? Okay, so we have a PD, which is police department, right? We have MC, which is a medical center, right? FI, which
Carlos,
is
I got
financial
right
financial institution, and then
Carlos, I got something for you right here. I'm finna show you the proof of what they saying that the people are here and what they got. Let me get this off of the page. Watch this. So this is the proof that the Native Americans was black. Hold on. No, remove that. Check this out. Okay, check this out. Here you go. Share. The smart we.
It's strange. People really want to save money, but are so willing to toss their hard-earned coin into...
Have you ever wondered who the first inhabitants of America were? Dr. Clyde Winters, a distinguished educator, anthropologist, and linguist, argues that they were black, or at least of partial black heritage. This is not a claim he makes lightly, but one that is backed by a considerable amount of DNA evidence. Diving into Dr. Winters' argument, we find it rooted in the debunking of a long-standing myth. This myth, perpetuated by many, including American cowboy movies, posits that the Native Americans were descendants of Mongoloid people from East Asia. However, Dr. Winters challenges this narrative with compelling DNA evidence. His argument is further bolstered by the DNA testing of famous Black Americans. An interesting case is that of Oprah Winfrey, whose DNA testing revealed Native American ancestry. This discovery, initially met with skepticism due to Winfrey's dark skin, actually supports Dr. Winters' argument. He asserts that the majority of Native Americans that lived in the eastern and southeastern United States were, in fact, Black Native Americans. Dr. Winters highlights the presence of certain haplogroups, specifically R1 and X, which are found in Africa, but are absent in Siberia. This further challenges the notion that Native Americans are descendants of East Asians. So, according to Dr. Winter, the DNA evidence strongly suggests an African origin of the first inhabitants of America. This revelation is not just a mere academic argument, but an opportunity to rewrite the narrative of human history and give credit where it is due. Now, let's unearth the past with bioarchaeology, the study of human and animal bones from archaeological sites. Dr. Clyde Winters, a renowned anthropologist and linguist, has made some compelling arguments using bioarchaeology. He suggests that physical anthropologists have unearthed skeletal remains that are far older than what was previously believed. These ancient bones challenge the conventional narrative that the first humans crossed the Bering Strait 12,000 years ago to enter the North American continent. From the icy expanse of Canada to the vibrant landscapes of Chile, Dr. Winters points to archaeological sites that bear evidence of human habitation ranging between 20,000 and 40,000 years old. These time frames dramatically predate the generally accepted timeline of human migration into the Americas. But the story doesn't end there. Dr. Winters also mentions evidence found in Brazil, a country known for its rich cultural diversity and history. Here, he says, there are signs of Africans dating back a staggering 100,000 years. This discovery not only shatters the traditional timeline of human habitation in the Americas, but also suggests a far earlier presence of Africans in these lands. So, skeletal remains and archaeological sites tell a tale of an even earlier presence of Africans in America, according to Dr. Winter. Language can reveal a lot about a civilization's roots. What does it tell us about the first inhabitants of America? Dr. Clyde Winters argues that the language of the first inhabitants of America holds significant clues to their origins. He suggests that there are striking similarities between the language patterns and structures of these early inhabitants and those of African languages. This, he proposes, is a strong indication that the first people to tread on American soil were of African descent. Dr. Winters' linguistic studies delve into the intricate links between the languages of the first inhabitants and African languages. He identifies specific grammatical features and vocabulary that are shared, pointing towards a common linguistic root. These links aren't merely coincidental. They offer a compelling piece of the puzzle supporting his theory of the first inhabitants being Black. It's not just about words, but also about the structure, the rhythm, the melody of the language. The similarities go beyond surface level, reaching into the very core of linguistic formation. These connections, Dr. Winters asserts, are a testament to the African heritage of the first inhabitants of America. Thus, if we listen closely, even the languages of the first inhabitants echo an African origin, as per Dr. Winters' research. So what do these three pieces of evidence tell us about the first inhabitants of America? Dr. Winters' research compiles compelling DNA evidence, comprehensive bioarchaeological findings, and thorough linguistic studies to argue a persuasive case. Each strand of evidence weaves together a narrative that suggests an African origin of the initial settlers of America. In conclusion, Dr. Winters' research suggests that the first inhabitants of America were black, challenging the conventional understanding of American history. This journey through the hidden pieces of evidence that speaks to America's black past is only the beginning. Therefore, if this video captured your imagination, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for another video. Lastly, for more information about the names and subjects mentioned in this video, get your copy of the Amazon best-selling book series, 19 White Men Who Admitted There Were Indigenous Black People in the Americas, and 13 Black Scholars Who Admitted There Were Black People in the Americas Before Columbus by Chase McGee. Link.
So there y'all see. Appreciate you, Jetty. Salute, salute, salute. Hey, do you have some white-looking Native Americans in America? Because of course they had mostly European DNA. Bro, we already did the Albert Perry story. We already know what it is. Now they do try to conflate and try to be like, oh, it's from African descent. But if you look, they say everybody comes from Africa. They saying the first people that was here in the world was in Africa. So I don't stick to that knowledge. I think it was people along the Americas because it was Pangea. Everything was connected. So that whole thing could have been, the whole piece of land could have been Africa. Why would they have some white looking Americans, bro? No, bro, it was just black people here. It wasn't no DNA, it wasn't none of that. It was just black people. So I don't know what you're talking about with that. As you put it, if you guys had so much to prove, you would be recognized as the real Native Americans. Every time I see a pretendian online, everything they submit is AI photo. We ain't gonna never get no tether. A tether will never understand. U.S. government said the first Indians. For real. Stop it, bro. We know our ancestors were telling us that, so we don't care what he telling us. We already know that our ancestors told us it was Indian. So we telling you that. You telling us what some history books are telling you, but there you go. Somebody that's not from the lineage trying to tell us what lineage we from, man. But it's gonna be hard for y'all now. You can't get mad at us. Trump is doing this thing that this has nothing to do with us. We got birthright citizenship. So explain that. That birthright citizenship was for us. Let me play a little bit of what Trump talking about. But I think they crashing out with this. It's not looking good. He put phones on North America, Olmec, South America, Black America, the millennium context similar to Africans because similar environment characteristics. Right, that's what I'm saying. Pangea, like, bro, we was like right on the side of Africa, West Africa. They put all the lands together. Do you really think birthright citizenship mean anything? You can change that. Don't be delusional. I mean, it depends on who. We can't change it for the people that was indigenous here. But it was for people it was for Black Americans, though. Saying that no longer exists, Spaniards. Why would he get rid of birthright citizenship though? That's where you got to give me a reason. Why would he do that? The U.S. government doesn't recognize Black American as the real Native American because there's no actual proof. Just like white Americans tried to claim this and got exposed. Right, we can't never be deported, bro. What is you talking about? If that was the case, they would have did it. they're trying to manipulate us into going, like saying, hey, you got family in Africa. Go to your homeland, go to your motherland. That's how they trying to get us. They ain't trying to say, oh, your birthright citizenship ain't no go somewhere. Y'all claiming we from Africa, but you claiming the white people is from here. You're not saying they from Europe. So that lets you know the pimp right there. If people from Europe came over here and now they just Americans, but you trying to tell us that we from Africa, but y'all, they not holding the same thing for the Europeans. Because we're from here, really. But we still believing in these people. We were here before the red Native Americans. Right. Not Native Indians, but Siberian Mongolians. Invaders. Right. They invading. They sending people over here. Whites are from Europe, and they know it. But they saying this their lane. My point exactly. And that's why they trying to tell us we're African American. If that was true, they would have said they was European American and we African American. If we were really from there and it was the truth, that lets you know the pimping. They're European American and we're just American. Just like people from Africa is from Africa. Just like it's black people from the Philippines they're Philippine. They're from the Philippines. They originally from there. Their people are from there. Our people, bro, we got black people that's from all over the world. Why wouldn't it be here in America? That's Aboriginal. Some did come over in slave ship later. The government will recognize black Americans as soon as classify ourselves. You're a lying piece of shit. Yeah, y'all, man. We getting into it on this, but they know where we from. They know what we got going on. We got a rude awakening. Someone very, very soon. Nah, fam. Now they want if you guys have no actual proof besides AI photos. Bro, we got proof. It's real proof. Tethered need to get lost. FBA business is closed. For real. It's closed to y'all, man. So, man. But this what they do, man. They come on the chat, they come on the live, and they try to tell us the history that the man told them. That's why we got to go into what our ancestors. That's why I'm gonna do a video on my ancestors, my great grandparents, so we can see pictures. Like you can understand a lot better. A lot of people are doing that. Shout out to a homie who told me that FBA is starting to do this. Yeah, Columbus dairies are proof. You're right, because Columbus did say that he's seen black people here. So what was that? You thought those was Indian people he seen here? You thought them was Middle Eastern? Thought them was Filipino people he seen here? It's always, y'all know on my chat, it's always, and it's coming because it's always it's always the same nationality coming on the channel telling us about our ancestry. I never heard of nobody from FBA going in anybody else chat and telling them where they people from. Yeah, we got birth records, verified photos of what they call us Negro Indians, bro. There's paperwork on this stuff. They never sent nobody back to Africa, bro. They never deported nobody to Africa. They never did that on this land, bro. You guys have AI photos. Bro, we got real photos of our grandparents and stuff. You tripping, bro. They ain't sent us back before. Right, they never sent nobody to Africa because they know that ain't their land, bro. They know that. Right. We owe real money, bro. Trillions. For real. He don't wanna speak on that. We already have the proof, and so do they. That's why they have to keep calling us ourselves Black and African American. As long as we do that, they don't have to recognize anything. Yeah, they don't gotta recognize nothing. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Mm-hmm. You put go make some tomatoes. YouTube isn't proof either. Okay. It's information on that. Shout out to Golden Heart. They are doing anything and everything to get a hold of our reparation. That's what they want. That's why he calling himself a Native American. He think he can get some money. He don't want to say he, Latino. He Afro Latino. But you Native American and you African. You sound more confused than anybody. Bro, but remember, you Native American and African. I don't know how you came up with those two. But I thought you guys don't believe in that. That's that man game, bro. That's that man game on that DNA testing. We believe in what our ancestor told us. That's what we believe in. You should too. Go listen to your grandma, your great grandma, them. They'll tell you what you really is. All this, what you saying, your grandparent, people that's in your family wouldn't even say this. I guarantee you, Jose, your granddaddy, Jose, is never finna claim Africa if he's Spanish. He's not gonna say he's from Africa. Eduardo is not saying he's from Africa, bro. So miserable, you have to come into someone else's life to be a troll. Meanwhile, all of your people is being deported. That's the issue, bro. Like, if you want us to care about your people being deported, say that, bro. Ask for our help. Say, man, can y'all, like, for real, just do that. You coming in here, man. Now we gonna want you. We gonna want to get you gone. Okay, Mama Lisa, I appreciate you for tapping in, Mama. Be safe now. I don't want you to have to shoot nobody, Mama Lisa. I'm a citizen born in Patterson, New Jersey. I'm safe. Okay. Bro, we had somebody else like you be active. He on the same thing you on. He was on the same thing you on, family. Coming in here telling us about what we gonna call ourselves and what we are. What's up with y'all with that, man? Right, y'all got your own country to go to and trying to say this for the other people. We are the only people that are not immigrants on this land. It's mind blowing to other races. It is, bro. They don't want to know that. They don't want to know that we like from this country and it's like so prosperous. It's like they don't like that. That's not factual proof. Anyone can make a YouTube video. Okay. Nah, we got the proof, man. Nah, we don't. Hey, we sitting back at this information and we like, you know, this should have happened 40, 50 years ago. Shout out to Tamia who said that. You from New Jersey and here says y'all going in on homie, man. But yeah, I was gonna get on here, man, for about a hour. That's all I had for us, but I'm gonna definitely be on tomorrow. Tap in on that limit. It was a mass shooting. Where at? It was a mass shooting at children's birthday in Stockton. At a children's birthday party. You already know who did that. You already know who did that. Okay. Remigration. Okay. Not our problem, man. Straight up. We talk about how we feel about it. Why people be so in their feelings, bro, when they come into the chat? Carlo, you must be so miserable and scared of Trump. That's why you in here trolling. You gotta be, bro. You know? They upset that they people can't come here and you know we talking like we from here. So it's like people don't like that. I'm starting to understand that. People don't like when you claiming this land. Bro, if they want to kick, they wouldn't be bringing other people in here. If they want to kick us out, they would have kicked us out and brought all the other people in. Who up in Dallas putting their hands on. Yeah, you shut up, man. Yeah, y'all be having me cracking up in the comments, bro. All the comments y'all be leaving, even on the YouTube page, but I gotta salute y'all. Man, y'all be going in. You can't play with FBA, bro. They gonna make you feel bad. Carlos gonna go home and cry. Carlos gonna go home and cry. Tell me, there's no birth record proving you're the real Native Americans. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow. Check out the channel tomorrow. I'm gonna do a video just for you, Carlos. I'm gonna show you proof, paperwork proof of people that was labeled Negro Indian Negro. I'm gonna show you proof tomorrow. You make sure 9:30 you clock in and you check in because I'm gonna show you proof so you'll get all the information you need. Documentation. I'm gonna show you somebody that got the documentation of their ancestor that the paperwork from the United States said Negro Indian. Since you think it ain't no paperwork, that's crazy to even say that, bro. We know you don't know what you're talking about. Shout out to you. Facts. For real. For real, man. This is spiritual. The Most High's will put my little sister half Dominican, half Black American, and she's laughing right now. Yeah, because she ain't from the lineage. You ain't from, you know what I'm saying? You ain't from our lineage, so you don't understand. What we telling you, you don't really get it. It's like me telling you your peoples are from Spain. My little sister was half Dominican, half Black. But yeah, man, listen. I appreciate y'all in the chat. Look, we're gonna jump in tomorrow, man. We're gonna go live tomorrow, and we're gonna get. So I'm gonna show y'all the paperwork that they have to where it's indigenous, not indigenous. It was Negro Indian. Indian was that was our label, was Indians at one point. So peace and love. Laughing at what? Her family being deported. Yeah, we crack it up. Yeah, it'd be funny, man. Have my family Negro Indian, right? That's what I'm saying. He don't even know about that term that they was putting out in a certain year. I think it was like 1866. He don't even know what he talking about. I'm a bust his bubble. Check tomorrow, bro. Check the live tomorrow. I'm gonna have it all the proof, so you know what we that we got real paperwork, stats, proof that we came from free, man. For real. Salute the call dog, man. Always tapping in. My boy Ray said, salute 18 wheels of steel. Shout out to Mama Lisa, man. Chris Pistofferson. Pearson F23, man. Shout out to y'all, bro. Always holding me down. My boy DOD. Mate Rich. Salute, man. I appreciate y'all for always tapping in, holding down these tethers, man, because they be getting in here talking crazy. We got to put them in their place. Shout out to Golden Heart. She always tapping in with us, but we're going to be on here tomorrow and we're going to show them that these proof, because a lot of people don't know. I'm thinking everybody know, but we're going to have to wake everybody up, y'all, and show them the real information. Let them know we ain't playing. I have paperwork. You don't have paperwork. Proven to be the real. I'm gonna show you tomorrow, bro. Please, I want you to come to the show tomorrow. I'm gonna show you paperwork where people was named this. I'm gonna have it just for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if I show you that paperwork, I want you to deport yourself. I want you to deport yourself when we prove that. If we got the right paperwork, you got to deport yourself. You got to self-deport. Trump likes Dominican. I'm good. He do got a Dominican woman, don't he? That's why you think you good. I think he do got a little Dominican chick. Hey, his parents definitely got a visa though. Trump don't like Dominican. You talking about Trump like Dominicans? Because I think he got I think his wife or something is Spain or Spanish. Yeah, Stockman, man. I'm gonna check that out, man. I may have to drop on that, man. But respect, fam. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow on the live. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all support us all day, every day. I catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love, man. Peace and love.